Namaskar. Here is Dr. Krishnakant Tripathi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Mizoram University, Aizawl, Mizoram. Very first, I convey my heartfelt regards to Honorable Director UGC HRDC, Professor R.T. Bedresher, most esteemed coordinator of the program, Dr. Pankaj Singh, all the participants of this program, and other staff and authorities who are involved in organizing this program. Thank you, all of you. Today's topic is outcome-based education. This is a high priority agenda of Government of India presently put by UGC, particularly with the publication of outcome-based education curriculum framework in 2020. And before delivering on this topic, I would like to share my belief with you. Very first, I believe that there is no education process which is without outcome. Outcome is the essence of education process, and if we have any process in academic institution which is without outcome, that cannot be called education. So today we will discuss what is outcome based education and what are the concerns, what is the history, and why a teacher should be focused with outcome based education. So let me go ahead on the topic. I have some objectives to deliver this topic, and there will be some outcome also. So I have divided my objectives into two categories: general objectives. This presentation is prepared with the purpose that new faculty members in higher education institutions should be aware about outcome-based education, and we want to sensitize them that they should be focused with OBE, outcome-based education. Specifically, I target that new faculty members in higher education institutions not only should be aware about the outcome-based education, they should be able to define what is outcome-based education, and they should be able to analyze the scenario in which UGC emphasizes on outcome-based education, and they should read Learning Outcome-Based Curriculum Framework published by UGC in January 2020, and I believe that the new faculty members will be able to set appropriate outcomes of their programs and courses. Outcome of the presentation. So, I believe that teachers in higher education institutions acquire the knowledge of context, history, and concept of outcome-based education. They understand the purpose of education and set relevant outcomes of their program and courses. Context. In what context we are bound to talk on outcome? We are bound to focus on outcome. So this is the report and this is news by Indian Express, and it is showing that our 47% graduates are employable. Employability rate in India is 47%. And earlier in 2014 it was 33%, and before that, when I came to know very first time in 2008 and 9, it was lower than 33%. I don't have data exactly. So that by this you can understand what is the outcome of our higher education system. Engineering education. 80% of Indian engineers are not fit for any job in the knowledge economy. So we have more engineering college in India, and everyone want to be engineer. So I don't want to blame a particular kind of subject and discipline. So I am coming to my own discipline, teacher education. CTT conducted by CBSE 2013, only 11% graduates with B.Ed degree they had qualified this exam, and when it was conducted in 2012, pass percentage was only 1%, and when it was first conducted in 2011, that was also only 1%. It is not only CTT, different states are conducting teacher eligibility tests in their jurisdiction, and pass percentage is not very high. It's not only at the level of higher education. At a school education level, quality of education is a big concern. As per Global Monitoring Report 2015, it says that it is impressive gain in access, but quality still remains a concern. Annual Status of Education Report, that is called ASER, it is a survey conducted by Pratham, that is NGO, that reports a very low quality of achievement among students of elementary school. It's not only by NGO, the ASER report is supported by the National Achievement Survey conducted by MHRD 2014. I focus on school level reality because school is the foundation of higher education. So now I come to the recent development. From 2014, India is a permanent signatory of Washington Accord. Washington Accord is a kind of international agreement for the quality of engineering education, and according to this accord, 12 engineering attributes are defined. National Accreditation Board is responsible to maintain the quality of engineering education in India, and they are accrediting engineering colleges, and such accredited engineering college have the access to global market. Their students can be employed by multinational agencies and across the world. So NCERT also define learning indicators and learning outcomes at the elementary stage. And UGC recently in 2020 learning outcome based framework for undergraduates published, and this is available in mobile book and PDF at the internet. Sources are given here, so you should read it. In the history of education, National Policy on Education 1986, which emphasized on minimum levels of learning, MLL. A lot of research work has been conducted on MLL at school level, but now we are focusing on higher education. It was proposed to include the defined learning outcomes in the central rules of right of children to free and compulsory education. So this is the scenario at school level, and it is not first time that we are talking on outcomes of education. Back in the history 1956, Benjamin S. Bloom, who had proposed a taxonomy of educational objective, instructional objective. So he has divided in three categories: cognitive, affective, and cognitive domains. And the words in red color here are emphasizing the outcomes of instruction, outcomes of education. So you might have already listened other expert on Bloom's taxonomy. Just I refocus here. That you should connect with Bloom's taxonomy. I believe this Bloom's taxonomy, which is studied particularly by the students of education discipline, this has spread it across professional education disciplines, and now it has again become relevant when we are talking outcome-based education. It has implication in curriculum designing, it has some implication in classroom teaching, it has some implication in evaluation of students. So we should be aware about this, and this is already delivered to you by other experts, so I will not go in detail to this topic. In history of education, Tyler's four principles are also connecting to outcome-based education. First principle of Tyler is defining appropriate learning objectives, establishing useful learning experiences, organizing learning experiences to have a maximum cumulative effect, evaluating the curriculum, and revising those aspects that did not prove to be effective. In India, Regional College of Education Mysore, which is known as Regional Institute of Education Mysuru, they have developed a lesson plan model for teaching in the classroom, and that was called input process output model. In that they have emphasized that Expected behavioral outcomes should be defined, and process should be organized according to that, and in the evaluation, real learning outcomes should be identified and evaluated. By this, I want to emphasize that in Department of Education, in discipline of education, in teacher education, outcome-based education is not a new concept. It has recently authority governing institutions of higher education have realized and acknowledged the outcomes-based approach of education. What is the concern of government institutions for this outcome-based education? First is quality of education. Second is skilled graduates. They should have demonstrable skills. They should be able to do something. Achieve and maintain global standards, international comparability of learning outcomes. Participation and contribution to global knowledge economy. So, under these concerns, UGC resolved to revise the curriculum based on learning outcomes in 2020. Now, let us come to the concept of outcome-based education. It was very first William Spady who coined the word outcome-based education, and his work at Harvard was the extension of work by Tylers and others educationists earlier to him. By going through his own words, we can understand what are the outcomes and what is outcome-based education. Outcomes are not the score, level, grade, or percentage that someone attaches to the demonstration, but the substance and actions of the demonstration itself. Spade is very clear that outcomes should state what students can do when they exit the system. Outcome describes significant learning. Learning is not significant unless the outcomes reflect the complexities of real life and give prominence to the life roles that learners will face after they have finished their formal education. Focusing and organizing everything in an educational system around what is essential for all students to be able to do successfully at the end of their learning experiences. Basically, Spady was a psychologist and sociologist. He is emphasizing on the social relevance of education. After passing out from a graduate programs, what they have to contribute to the society, what they have to contribute to the market, what skills, knowledge they have to improve and develop the society and the country. So that was the concern and which has compelled to talk on outcome-based education. Outcomes are demonstration of learning. Outcomes are academic standards. As per UGC, degree programs are awarded on the basis of demonstrated achievements of outcomes, knowledge, understanding, skills, attitudes, values. So by this you can understand that these are also related to the Bloom's taxonomy, these are also related to the Tyler's work, and these are emphasized by the William Spady. And furthermore, if we think and focus a little bit on the very concept of education and very purpose of the education, we can realize the knowledge, understanding, skills, attitude, values, overall the personality development of the learners is the part of education process. That is the main emphasis of outcome-based education. We have to develop such personalities which have some knowledge of their discipline, which have some related skills which they can perform, and which have positive attitude towards their work and profession, and which have some values which are relevant to social norms, professional norms. So that is all about the basic concept of education. Now one more thing, we should understand outcome-based education by comparing with traditional approach of teaching and learning. Traditionally, teachers have been deciding what is to be included in the curriculum whereas OV approach starts with a specification of what the students will be expected to achieve by the end of the unit. Focus not on knowledge delivery but on application of knowledge. These are the four domains, four pillars on which UGC has developed and designed learning outcome based curriculum framework. So, graduate attributes. Attributes reflect the personality characteristics, quality, features of individual. So, if we understand personality traits, we can find out that purpose of education is to develop some personality characteristics, and by these graduate attributes, by these personality traits of graduates, we can understand the outcome of education. Graduate attributes include capabilities of performing in academics, future studies, career, job, and society. Graduate attributes by UGC. UGC has defined graduate attributes in its learning outcome based curriculum framework, and these are 15 in numbers, which are matching with some cognitive, affective, and psychomotor domains, and having some relevant to social and professional norms and relevant to the work market. So first is disciplinary knowledge, communication skills, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning, research related skills, cooperation, teamwork, scientific reasoning, reflective thinking, information digital literacy, self-directed learning, multicultural competence, moral and ethical awareness, leadership readiness, and lifelong learning. So by seeing these 15 graduate attributes defined by UGC, set by UGC, you can understand these are the human characteristics. These are some characteristics related to cognitive abilities, affective abilities, and psychomotor abilities, which were earlier defined by Benjamin S. Bloom. These are also the basics of education. What is qualification descriptors? Expected learning outcomes. Students who are awarded a particular degree should be able to demonstrate knowledge and skill relevant to the discipline, use knowledge and skills of the field to identify and solve the problems in scientific manner, communicate the knowledge, apply in new context, demonstrate subject related transferable skills, meets one's own learning needs. So these are the qualifications which should be in the graduates after completing a graduate degree. Program learning outcomes. These are the basic skills, and teacher must know how to set the program learning outcomes, which should be matching with the human needs, social needs, and national needs. Knowledge and skills that prepare students for further study, employment, and citizenship. PLOs include subject-specific skills, generic skills common to almost all complex endeavors, transferable global skills, and competencies. Course learning outcome attained by learner through the essential learning acquired on comprehension of selected courses of study within the program aligned to program learning outcome. For example, in teacher education, a program, B.Ed program has outcome that competent and skilled teachers, production of competent and skilled teachers. And for example, if we have a course ICT in education, so teachers after going through that course should be able to use ICTs, and they should fulfill their own requirement to use ICT in the classroom and also out of the classroom. Course learning outcomes should be aligned to program learning outcomes. Outcome-based education features curriculum reforms, flexibility, and innovation in design. So it is matching with the choice-based credit system, institutional accountability, focuses on what is to be learned, the outcome, multiple types of content exposure, real-life connection of knowledge. In the nutshell, we can say that outcome-based education makes teachers and institutions accountable for the performance of graduates and degree holders in the field. So it is like a connecting education with the real life. Outcome-based education demands diversified pedagogy because different learners learns in different ways. We have individual differences. So teaching learning process to be oriented towards enabling a student to attain the defined learning outcomes related to the courses within the program. Teacher-centric to learner-centric pedagogies from passive to active or participatory pedagogy. Lectures supported by group tutorial work, practicum, and field-based learning can be one example of that. Diverse assessment procedures, formative evaluation and summative evaluation you might have gone through and you might be knowing that OBE emphasizes on formative evaluation and that also demands a comprehensive approach of evaluation. It's a diversified plan of evaluation, not a one kind of evaluation. So these are different pattern like time constant examination, closed book and open book test, problem based assignment, practical assignment, laboratory reports, observation of practical skills, individual project report, team project report, oral presentation including seminar presentation, viva washing interviews, computerized adaptive testing, peer and self assessment. For example, I can say in the context of language education, what kind of summative evaluation we are doing in the end of MA English program, that is writing only. So language is not only writing, it is also listening, reading and speaking. So we can understand that all disciplines needs a diversified plan of evaluation, not a linear evaluation pattern. Thank you. Specifically, I thank Professor R.T. Batre, Director UGC HRDC Sagar, Professor R.P. Vatera, former Vice Chancellor Mizoram University Aizawl, and Professor of Education and great expert of Bloom's taxonomy. And he used to say from different platforms, Bloom's can save us. He is saying this, it means that Bloom taxonomy has some implication in development of curriculum and classroom teaching and evaluation system. So all departments of the university, not only education department, should have understanding of Bloom's taxonomy. And I believe at this level that this outcome-based education is based in Bloom's taxonomy, Tyler's core principles, and earlier works in education, and earlier works by different educationists. I thank all participants of online faculty induction program organized by UGC HRDC Sagar. Thank you all. Namaskar.